Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, as one surrenders unto me, I reward them accordingly. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyaham. As a devotee surrenders according to his surrender, then Krishna will reciprocate. But what does it actually mean, surrender? Just like when a person says, I love you, what does it actually mean, I love you? The wife says to the husband, I love you. And so the husband comes back from work, or the wife comes back from work, and one of them tell the other person, I had a long day and I'm really hungry. So the other person says, why are you talking about hunger? I love you. So the person said, okay, I understand you love me, but right now I'm really hungry. I need some food. The other person says, why are you talking about food? I love you. I love you. It's not a flowery word. It means something. Just like simply saying I love you is not enough. You have to show that through your activities, through how you think, your thinking process, how you behave with that person, how you talk about that person, how do you deal with that person. Everything combines. It's a culmination of everything that will show whether you really love. Sometimes certain people smoke, and sometimes they smoke outside. They don't smoke in the room. Why? Because the kids are there, and that is not good for them. So even though you may like to smoke in the room, but you don't because you love your kids, and therefore you smoke outside. So here, loving is just not saying, but you're actually doing something to prove that you love your children. So that we will talk about what are the different aspects of surrender. What does it mean that we are surrendering to Krishna, we are surrendering to God? Is it just some flowery words? Is it some sentiment? Or we got to do something? So one of the first things about surrendering to Krishna means that we only do things favorable. Sometimes it is difficult to give up certain habits which are favorable to bhakti, but we give it up, or we try to give it up because it is favorable to bhakti. Accepting things that is favorable and rejecting things which is unfavorable to bhakti. Just like waking up in the morning, it's very difficult, because the morning sleep is sweet like honey. But we wake up because that is a very good timing. That's a very good time to concentrate for chanting, for meditation. And therefore, even though we may like to sleep at that time in the morning, but we wake up, we do our japa meditation because it is favorable. To the point we are ready to accept and reject, which is favorable and unfavorable to devotional service. To that extent, we are surrendered to Krishna. Sometimes you want to take rest, but your children wants to play. So because you love your children, you give up, your sleep and you play with them. Because love is there, surrender is there. So there are certain nature that we have, certain aspects of life that we are very, very attached to. But we adjust those things because we are trying to surrender. Another aspect of surrender, which is very, very important, that we accept God as our ultimate protector. Now, we try to protect ourselves with money, with property, with influence, with friend circles, with our connections with the government. We try different ways to feel protected, to feel that, I have shelter. But a surrendered devotee, he is fully convinced that Krishna is the ultimate protector. Yeah, sometimes we feel sad and sometimes we're very, very happy. And you are looking for that person whom you can express yourself to. Say you are sad and you're crying. You just want to open up your heart to someone. So whom do you call up? You call up that person whom you trust, whom you love, whom you have to some extent certain surrender.
Par
So you
exemple,
call up that person and you share your joy or your sadness. A surrendered devotee, he reveals his heart to Krishna. In his sad, he reveals his heart to Krishna. He is happy, he reveals his or her heart to Krishna. He accepts Krishna, God, as the ultimate maintainer and protector. Another aspect of surrender, that he is very, very humble, meek and humble. How surrendered are we to God? How surrendered are we to Krishna? It will show through our action. In material world, when you talk about surrender, as soon as you think of surrender, you think of manipulation. Someone is going to manipulate us. Someone is going to control us. Someone is going to dictate us, that we have no say, that we have no independence. That's what immediately comes to our mind. But true independence comes through genuine humility. True happiness comes through genuine surrender. Because once you are connected to God through surrender, you are completely fearless. Now we are scared. Oh, what's going to happen today? What's going to happen tomorrow? What will happen to my health? What will happen to my family? What will happen to my country? And so on and so forth. We are always living in a very complicated world with always feeling insecurity. How protected would you feel if the prime minister or the president of your country stands next to you and he says, Kamala Devi Dasi, I am next to you. I will protect you. The nation will protect you. Everyone is with you. How nice would you feel about that? If the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes, the most powerful, he says, don't worry, I am there. Do not fear. What kind of independence that it gives us in our heart, how much joy it gives us to feel that I am actually connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and there is no fear. Through surrender, you become the controller of your mind, not that the mind controls you. You become so peaceful, so happy, knowing that Krishna is there by your side. He is the best friend that anyone can even think of. To feel truly joyful, to feel freedom, to feel happiness within the heart, no matter what we are going through in this world, depends on how surrendered we are to God. I'm sure all of you have heard the name of Prahlad Maharaj. Yes? Kamala, everyone knows Prahlad Maharaj?
Not everybody.
Okay. So, there was this king, his name was Hiranyakashipu, and he was the most powerful king in this universe. He was the most powerful, even the demigods were his servants. On the other hand, his son was just a small child. Hiranyakashipu was thinking he is the supreme controller and he did not want to surrender to God, whereas his son Prahlad was fully surrendered. Because Prahlad did not want to surrender to his father and accept him as God, Hiranyakashipu tried to kill him in so many ways. Even though Hiranyakashipu was the most powerful personality on the planet, he was most agitated and most unpeaceful. Whereas Prahlad Maharaj, even though he was he was being, his father has been trying to kill him in so many ways. He was completely peaceful and blissful because he was fully surrendered to God. You can actually be happy.
Et on peut vraiment être heureux.
You can actually be blissful and totally feel freedom from the clutches of the material existence. Even though you may be surrounded by so many unwanted elements, yet within the heart, we can feel bliss. It all depends how surrendered we are. So today we spoke about certain elements of surrender, that it is not just some words that I'm surrendered soul, but it actually means something. And today we discussed about certain elements, what it means to be a surrendered soul. And as you surrender, Krishna will reward you. Prabhupada was surrendered soul.
Au divin.
And look what Krishna did through Prabhupada. How much inconvenience he had gone through. Yet, he was very peaceful. He had 2 heart attacks in the ship, yet he was very focused. Let us try to reconnect our relationship with God through surrender and see the difference. Use common sense, number 1. God has given us intelligence. I give you one example. Say there is a big flood. Okay, everything is filled with water. You're stuck in your house. Then the government sends a boat to pick you up, and you say, no, God will protect me. I will not go on the boat. You accept that boat as the agency of God who has come to help you. Get on the boat. Not only the insects are disappearing, so many plants, so many vegetables, so many types of spinach, so many types of animals, everything is disappearing because we have become like animals ready to destroy this planet without thinking about the next generation. So my point is that unless and until we act according to the scriptures, according to the God's desire and direction, it is only we are putting ourselves in danger more and more. So if you hear certain things, it is not just me or you, all of us have to get together and do our part to save the planet. As many people as we can try to convince them. We can talk about it, bring awareness, and also focusing on vegetarianism. It's a great help for the planet. That has a great impact. All right. See, right now, we're running around just trying to follow the instruction of the mind. And day and night, and we are trying to satisfy the desire of the mind. We're not able to, and we get frustrated because it is never possible to satisfy the mind.
Et jour et nuit, nous faisons tout pour satisfaire notre mental, mais il est impossible de satisfaire le mental. On n'est jamais satisfait.
Mind is extremely powerful, very strong. By surrendering to Krishna, step by step, you can control the mind. Only by controlling the mind will you be peaceful. The mind will listen to you, not the other way around. Practically controlling the mind means that you are aloof from all sinful activities and you're fully engaged in good activities. Unless you're spiritually strong, it is almost impossible to control the mind. Spirituality means surrendering to God. See, when you focused yourself in positivity, in good things, naturally, bad habits will automatically go. The best thing you can do is concentrate on japa meditation. through proper japa meditation, God reveals everything in the heart. Right now, we have so many habits that is unnecessary. But when we focus on japa meditation, you'll see everything will appear very naturally. And you will feel what to do, what not to do. It's in a very clear mindset. So if you want to know what can be done, I would say japa meditation is the most important thing.